Yo guys, Otaku here. How's it going? Welcome back to another video. Now today, I want to talk about Terminator because this week, as you might be aware, there is a Terminator coming out on Netflix. It's called Terminator Zero, and I just wanted to make a video about that one a little bit, but probably like a bit different from other people who have made similar videos, in the sense that probably they were looking at some kind of details in the trailers and trying to look for some Easter eggs and whatnot. And I'm not gonna do that. I just want to look at one particular aspect, which I'm most interested about, I should say. Now, this is something I said in a previous video, talking about movies in general. In my opinion, again, everything is getting worse and dumber, etc., etc. And Terminator is unfortunately no exception to that rule. For me, like Terminator 1, good, Terminator 2, epic, and then everything after that is really, really lame kind of stuff. Some of them obviously a bit better than others, but overall, though, in some cases it was very bad casting, and yeah, just kind of things that don't really make sense. So today, what I want to do is I want to look at the trailer of T2 first of all, and then we're going to look at the trailer of Terminator Zero. And I'm looking for one element and one element only. I want to see, and I haven't watched them in like quite a while. I haven't seen actually Terminator Zero trailer. I just kind of very quickly went through it, just a few frames here and there, but I haven't seen it in its entirety. But I'm just looking for one element, and that element is I want to know, looking just at the trailer, whether there is a sense that, okay, is it going to be just like an action movie, or are we going to get a kind of philosophy element to it? Kind of this whole thing about being a human and being machine, and what exactly does it mean? Like, where's that kind of line that separates us, etc. So let's start with T2. And just looking at the trailer, okay, obviously everybody knows the movie, okay, but just looking at the trailer, let's see what kind of image we get from that. Okay, so let's have a look.
Same make.
These were taken at the West Highland Police Station, 1984. You were there.
Same model.
These were taken today.
You have to let me see my son. He's in great danger.
New mission. Once, he was programmed to destroy the future.
You don't know what it's like to try to kill one of these things.
Now, his mission
Get down.
is to protect it.
Come with me if you want to live.
You're really real.
His loyalty is to a child,
Who sent you?
You did. 35 years from now.
and his enemy
He's a Terminator like you, right?
Not like me.
is the deadliest machine ever built.
Can it be destroyed?
Unknown.
This time, there are two. Terminator 2.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why?
If you thought you had seen it all, look again.
Stay down!
Go! Now!
We gotta stick together!
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This time, he's back. For good.
Trust me.
Just looking at the trailer, I didn't really feel I didn't really get the sense that this is going to be like a very philosophical movie. It seems that there's just a lot of explosions, there's a lot of action. Um, a, a lot of Arnie movies are just action, really. There's not too much else going on there. So I didn't really get the sense from the trailer that's going to be like much philosophy in there. But I know that there is. Obviously, they cut out a lot. They don't show a lot in this trailer. There's this, you know, like Linda Hamilton goes into kind of deep thoughts about the future, and there's this whole kind of interaction often between John and the Terminator. All of that is not really, none of that is really shown here. It's just kind of a few glimpses here and there, but overall, it's mostly focused on action. So I would say, in that sense, the trailer is a bit deceiving because, like again, if somebody just doesn't know what the movie's about, they might just assume that, oh, okay, it's just like a kind of your average action movie. There's nothing else to it, right? But that's obviously not the case. So, okay, all right. So from the trailer, we don't really get that sense. Let's have a look now at Terminator Zero, and let's see what kind of feeling we get from that.
This isn't what you think it is. You can't see it yet. But you've been on a collision course your entire life. There's no going back. Not really. It will never, ever stop. There's only one thing standing in between you and him. Me.
Okay, kind of the same deal here. I really didn't get the sense that there's too much philosophy going on here. Again, it's mostly focused on action scenes, etc. So obviously, this one is going to be an anime, which I think is probably good because I don't know, like I'm getting like a bit tired of live actions, to be honest with you. I mean, that's why even like 20 years ago, I started to watch anime because I was just really tired of seeing people in general. I already see like people all around me when I go outside, etc. Like I don't really want to see even more people on the screen. Like I want to watch something different. So I think this is a good move. Um, there's obviously like a ton of questions I always had about Terminator. It's like, okay, for example, like they nuke kind of the whole planet, right? Very few survivors are left, and then like we kind of jump automatically to like the machines like already built, etc., like flying around and walking around, and I'm like, where did all this come from? Like, how did they do that? I thought like Skynet was just like, okay, basically kind of like a self-aware AI. It's like a, okay, let's say it's a big kind of server that it went rogue, let's say, but it's still like a server. Like it's just a kind of a bunch of CPUs connected by cables, right? And then like you have other machines there. Terminator 3 actually kind of started to show a little bit of that because there is that part. I think it was in the Pentagon. I'm not sure because it's like a long time I watched that movie, but there were like a couple of machines there. But these were like kind of the more primitive versions, I think. Yeah, they had a couple of flying ones, I think, and uh, the very slow rolling ones, like looking like a tank, but the kind of very, like, I don't know, they're not very high. They're maybe like maybe 2 meters high or something, kind of human size almost. So that's not like too impressive, I guess. But then we get to they have these kind of giant flying ones and the big ass tanks, and the exoskeletons walking around. I don't know, like I just don't really understand like where they manufactured those if everything is fucked up, right? So anyway, maybe I just didn't really read up on the lore too much, but I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, I didn't get the sense from this trailer that it's going to be like very deep, but we'll see. I can't really give you too much info on this because I don't even know too much about it either. All I know is that Cameron is listed as one of the writers, and then the other writer is mostly from The Walking Dead, and then the third writer is kind of virtually unknown, I would say. So I'm a little bit torn about that one because James Cameron, he also is listed as a writer on some previous ones, and they were definitely more miss than a hit. So kind of a bit of a red flag there. Walking Dead, well, okay, good, but again, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm just not really sure it's like Terminator quality. You see, it's kind of like a bit different. It's definitely different, but anyway, we'll see. All I can tell you is that the production company is a good one. Like they made a lot of like good stuff, so that's good. The director is a guy who mainly worked on Bleach. Now I never watched Bleach, so I can't really comment on that. But I know that obviously it's a very kind of popular series. It did very well. I'm just not. It's not really my cup of tea. But I don't know. It could be good. But speaking of Terminator, the other kind of Terminator things that I can recommend to you, that is actually, just let me see here very quickly. Okay, while I'm looking here, the first thing is the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Now that one, it's a TV show. I think it had only 2 seasons. Unfortunately, it got canceled. Look, that's not. Don't get like turned off by that because a lot of very good shows get canceled. There are many various reasons. Now, one reason could be people are not really watching, but that doesn't mean that the show is bad, though. It just means that, again, we live in this kind of insane TikTok culture where, people have short attention spans and they want kind of crazy jump cuts every second. And obviously, if you're looking for that, then the Sarah Connor Chronicles is going to really disappoint you because it's definitely more slow paced and they give you time to absorb the information and what's going on. But if you're like a TikTok person and you just want these crazy like jump cuts every single frame, then yeah, that's not for you. But if you're actually looking more kind of for the core experience of Terminator, talking about Terminator 1 and 2, then the Sarah Connor Chronicles is right up there. They really kind of went back and re-examined the things that made the originals so great. So I do recommend that one. Definitely go watch that one. And if you want the game, right? I think it was called. I think it's this one, if I'm not mistaken. Terminator Resistance. Look, it's not like a kind of epic game, but a lot of Terminator games, especially kind of old ones, they were just kind of shooters. Like Terminators show up on the screen left and right, and you just have to shoot them kind of timed. If you don't do it in time, they shoot you, you take damage, and if it happens too often, you die, right? This one actually, Terminator Resistance, is more kind of like a Fallout game, I would say. You're just kind of more sneaking around and picking locks, and there's a bit of like dialogues. You have to make choices. If you make the bad choices, characters die, obviously. And yeah, it's not like great, okay? Don't expect like some kind of epic thing from there, but it's also not bad. Like I was kind of pleasantly surprised because I thought it was gonna suck, and it didn't actually. It was okay. I I don't regret playing it, let's say. So definitely check these two out. And yeah, that's basically it for my video. What are you like? Let me just finish on with this question, perhaps. What are you looking to in Terminator? Are you just kind of more of an action person? Do you think it should be just action, kind of like Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale? It was basically just action. Okay, they stripped out all the other elements from that movie. That's for sure. So, do you want it to go into that direction, or are you more kind of a fan of the old one, where yeah, it was action, but it was definitely more mixed in with this kind of whole philosophy about, what it means to be human, what it means to be a machine, and where it kind of overlaps, etc. Are you like kind of one camp or the other? Because it seems like to me, if you're looking at the movies, uh, they just really kind of went in these two very radical directions, let's say. The first two were kind of Camp A, and then everything else is pretty much Camp B, okay? So, yeah, which one are you, and which direction do you think they should go into? And also, what are your expectations of Terminator Zero? Do you think it's gonna suck basically? Or do you think it's gonna be good? One thing I will say though is that I think last year or something there was Arcane, okay, and Arcane uh, kind of came out of nowhere, really. Just hey, this thing on Netflix, animated kind of thing on Netflix, right? And based on a game, but going into it, like I really didn't know what to expect, right? Look, I'm not a big fan of that game, so but the show though was really really good, was excellent actually. So I think there is like obviously a chance this is going to be good, but I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's it for my video. I'll see you on the next one. Dekov signing off. Peace.